Montgomery. Fastball for Montgomery is in the mid-90s from the right side. He struck out 3 in his first 2 innings. Fenwick Trimble takes a pitch, and that hit him on the hand. He will take his base. Shaking off that hand as he makes his way over to first. And so after the strikeout, a mistake from Braden Montgomery, a pitch that just got away from him and clipped the hand of Fenwick Trimble. Jack Penny will now come up for Orleans with a runner on first and nobody, and I beg your pardon, 1 away. Jack Penny out of Wakefield, Massachusetts. Out of Notre Dame. Takes the pitch right over the zone for strike 1. He's added to the roster today, along with one other 4YD in a new pitcher that has found his way onto the staff, Pablo Torres from Bethune-Cookman. No balls, 2 strikes, the count to Fenwick Trimble. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Braden Montgomery, and that was a dominant at-bat. He sits down Jack Penny on 3 pitches. As now the UCSD Triton Matt Hallback looks to extend the inning for Orleans.
That was one of Montgomery's best at-bats that we've seen, pounding the zone, blowing it past him, and leaving it around the edges, not over the plate. Penny could not see it.
Hallback takes a breaking ball upstairs, 1-0. Out of UC San Diego, standing tall in the righty box. And he takes strike 1. 6'3", 215-pound junior from Los Gatos, California. Hitting .330 this season for Orleans. This club has been hot at the plate, especially of late. Montgomery paints the black, and it's 1-2.
Great frame from Stafford on that one, moving his body behind it. It was close to the outside, but Stafford helped it out.
Two-two, tipped off the knob of the bat, foul. Montgomery has had 2 of the first 3 hitters and now a third, and Matt Hallback in a 2-strike count has really done well in getting 2 strikes on guys so far today. The only mistake coming against Fenwick Trimble, who he hit on the first pitch. Runner bluffs as the pitch falls low, 2-2. Hallback climbs back in, 3 homers for him on the season.
3 hits against YD all season.
Stays alive, and we'll see another at 2-2. The long ball was what killed YD yesterday. Gave up 3 home runs, including the backbreaker late, a 2-run shot in the 8th inning from Chatham's Trace Wilhoit, who had 2 of the 3 home runs for the Anglers yesterday in the eventual 6-4 win. Montgomery's 2-2 is lifted out toward shallow right center field. Austin giving chase. That'll drop in for a base hit. Trimble on his way to third. He'll arrive there safely. And it's a 2-out, 2-strike single for Matt Hallback to keep the inning going. Eddie Micheletti with a chance to give Orleans an early lead.
Trimble helped out by the fact that with 2 outs on, you're running on contact. That one was headed towards a gap, but one that if there were fewer outs, you definitely have to wait up to see if it would drop in a glove. Instead, takes advantage, and there's runners on the corners.
So that turns things to Eddie Micheletti, the future Virginia Tech Hokie, by way of George Washington. Takes the first pitch, a ball high, 1-0. Pitch dives underneath the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. No movement from Hallback on first. He is not a steal threat, hasn't attempted one all season.
That's expected. It's already very crowded here at Red Wilson.
Swing and a miss on the 2-0 pitch. 2 balls and a strike.
Especially on this shady side of the field. It's cool in the shade, hot in the sun today, but overall a very nice day.
Typically Tuesday home games are the least attended, but with this being the final of the regular season, fans are showing out. Swing and a miss on the 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Micheletti, the native of Wilmington, Delaware. Looking for a 2-out RBI. Montgomery's 2-2 pitch is high, and a 2-out full count for Micheletti, as Hallback will get a head start on first. They're on the corners with 2 away in a so far scoreless game. Not quite through half an inning yet. Braden Montgomery trying to put up a 0. 3-2 is low, ball 4.
That missed by just a couple of inches maybe. Really nice take from Micheletti, and that loads the bases.
And this brings up Eddie King, the Louisville Cardinal, with the bases juiced. King batting .264, 14 RBIs for him on the season. He's had an extra base hit in each of his last 3 games. Takes the ball upstairs, 1-0. Last time against YD, he was 3 for 4 with a double. He has been one of the most up-and-coming bats as of late in this Orleans lineup. Check swings and fouls off the 1-0 pitch. Ball and a strike. Braden Montgomery, as Perri already talked about in his last time out, was in this position with the bases loaded and 2 outs and got out of it. See if he can work some more magic here in the top of the first. Favorable count to Eddie King.
It is silent at Red Wilson. The atmosphere is so tense today.
2-1 gets away. Run will come in to score as everybody's up a base, and Orleans on the wild pitch strikes first. It's 1-0 Firebirds.
When we've seen Montgomery miss for the most part, it has been high. That's what gave him so much trouble at Bourne the last time we saw him when he walked 2 batters. And today he's walked 1 with King in a 3-1 count.
And that's ball 4. King takes high, and the bases are reloaded. Only 1 hit so far in this inning for Orleans. Ducks on the pond for Brandon Stallman, as Ryan Stafford wants a word with Braden Montgomery.
Stallman has seen YD twice, and he's 4 for 8 with a run scored. No walks, but he attacks early in the count.
So Stallman climbs in. Bases are loaded up for the .347 hitter. Montgomery can't get the back door open. That's ball 1. Stallman added somewhat recently to this Orleans lineup, and now we will see a visit out to the mound.
There's a little bit of action just starting up in the bullpen. It looks like Boston maybe is out there, out of BYU.
Interesting that Mabius would be throwing. Typically, we've seen him in later inning roles. Montgomery's scheduled to get only a couple of innings in an opener type of role before Whitey passes the ball off, but Mabius was not projected to be one of the guys that would follow up behind him. Doesn't have his jersey on, though, so it could just be a daily bullpen type of throwing from Mabius. But regardless, back to the field of play, and a tough situation for Braden Montgomery. 1-0 count, and the bases loaded with Brandon Stallman at the plate. And he pounds the zone there for strike one.
And now pitching coach for YD, Alex Frapart, is headed out to the bullpen to have a chat with his guys over there. Jackson out in shallow right field. That shift is on for YD towards that pull side.
1-1 rides high. 2 balls and 1 strike. YD needs just 1 out to get out of this inning. Orleans trying to break this open. Get some further damage on the Red Sox early in this one. 2-1 nearly gets away. And Montgomery now at risk of walking one in. Gavin Bruni starting to throw in the YD bullpen.
He's been the expected guy since the beginning to come in.
He's the guy we thought would follow Montgomery. 3-1 ball 4. Hallback comes in to score as Stallman works the 5-pitch walk. Base is still loaded for Braden Montgomery, and now a 2-0 score. Henry Hunter, the catcher, coming up to the plate.
Montgomery is a guy that holds himself to extremely high standards. When he pitched at Bourne, even though no runs came across, he was frustrated with himself, despite the fact that it was one of his best hitting days of the season. It was his first home run. He had a double as well, but coming out, the walks were the only thing he was focused on.
One 1-0 count here to Hunter. Pitches outside, 2-0. Montgomery was scheduled to get 2 innings and then be followed up by Gavin Bruni, but who knows if that plan's still in effect here.
At this point, I'd be surprised considering how wild Montgomery has been. He's still going to be in the batting lineup all day, moving into that DH spot.
That one gets away. No chance to advance, though, as kicked off the backstop pretty hard, and Micheletti didn't get a perfect jump towards home. Montgomery has now thrown 36 pitches and is at risk of walking in a second run, which would make it a 3-0 game.
Montgomery's been in this position before. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-0 count.
Ball 4. Another walk from Braden Montgomery, and it is 3-0 Orleans in the first.
It's a really high-pressure situation that Montgomery was thrown into today. We haven't seen him start. We've only seen him in late innings, but the YD bullpen has been switching up the starters all year. We've seen some guys that started as relievers move into starting spots and vice versa. This was supposed to be a knockout punch kind of start, and instead it's put YD behind 3-0.
So now Jake Casey, who delivered the walk-off yesterday for Orleans, comes to the plate. Left-handed swinging left fielder out of Kent State. He takes up high, back pick to third is not in time. YD dugout can't believe it. But Ryan Stafford nearly stolen out to get his pitcher out of a tough inning. Want to know the count to Casey. Gavin Bruni throwing from the full mound. Pitch is high and away again, ball 2.
6 balls in a row now from Montgomery.
Here comes pitch number 40 from Braden. Ball 3 outside. 40 pitches so far, 15 strikes, 25 balls. He nearly got out of this inning. If you remember back to Matt Hallback's at bat, he lifted one up to right center, but it just didn't quite carry enough. Dropped in for a blue pit, and this has ensued. Montgomery returns to the mound there, or returns to the strike zone, I should say, as he makes it 3-1 to Casey.
Casey thought that was ball 4. He was ready to take off his ankle guard.
Strike 2 is painted on the outside corner, and Montgomery seems to have found it again, at least for now. Runners will be off with the pitch. 3-2 count, 2 outs, and the base is loaded. Three-two. Struck him out looking. That's 3 strikeouts in the inning for Braden Montgomery. But Orleans has leapfrogged out to a 3-0 lead, and it will be up to YD's batting to now come from behind in this decisive divisional game. Headed to the bottom of the first from Red Wilson Field. It's 3-0 Firebirds on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the first inning here from Red Wilson Field, and RJ Austin leads off for YD, already down to a 3-0 deficit. Jaden Winter on the bump for Orleans, getting ready to deal his first pitch to Austin. He flies it foul. Winter out of East Carolina. This is his debut for the Firebirds after coming over from the Ripken League, where he played for the Crop Dusters. Pitch misses off the plate, 1-1. It's part of their first playoff win in franchise history. Had a really strong year, represented the Ripken League in their showcase game against the Atlantic League. Austin did not go around there. It's 2-1. 2-1 is pushed foul, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to RJ. Jaden Winter in the Ripken League this summer, 1-1 record, 3.06 ERA across 5 appearances, struck out 20 in 17 2/3. His 2-2 is high to RJ Austin, and it's a full count.
Austin back in the leadoff spot where he was most of the season. The last few games we've seen him down batting in the 3-hole, but he's done well for the Red Sox so far in this spot.
Flies this one left side. That is out of play. Austin hitting .323, a homer and 13 driven in. Had 1 hit yesterday, a single, also scored a run. Winter's payoff. Spoiled foul once more. Austin will see another at 3-2. Eighth pitch of the at-bat incoming to RJ Austin. ECU on Vanderbilt here in the bottom of the first. Chopper to short, run from third. It gets by Stallman, and it's eaten up in the left side of the infield. Stallman tried to come across that ball from third and missed it. Jack Penny got it in his glove behind him. He was waiting back on it, but Stallman was in his way between short and first, and so there is no throw. It is ruled a base hit for RJ Austin. Would have been a tough play to get it over there in time anyways, and YD now has a man on base for Ryan Stafford. Had a brief delay. Orleans shifting with Joe Oyama playing just to the left of the second base bag.
This is the first time we've seen this shift used against YD.
See if it pays off against the right-handed pull hitter Ryan Stafford. Also guarding a place up the middle where YD has sent a lot of base hits through this season. He tips the 1-0 offering. It's a ball and a strike. Stafford hitting .289. Hitting the 2-hole yesterday and was 2 for 5 with a single and a double. A game that YD really lacked in terms of offense until late. Hunter Hines' home run brought them back into it. They stranded the tying run in scoring position yesterday, had second and third, down 2 with 2 outs in the ninth, but an RJ Austin ground out sealed their fate yesterday.
It was a valiant attempt at a rally, but fell short.
Stafford pops that one foul. But we've seen that theme, Perri, a couple times in YD losses, especially here down the stretch, where just haven't really done a lot through the early innings, and then this team has done well to try at least to put rallies together, but they haven't really done themselves any favors by what they've done early in games at points this season. Swing and a miss on the 1-2. And so Winter responds to the infield single, collecting a strikeout, as now the pitcher slash DH, Braden Montgomery, who tossed that top of the first inning, comes to the plate for the first time.
There are 2 ways I see this going. 1, he's in his head and not seeing it well, or 2, he wants to prove why he's in that lineup and will attack this one from the jump.
Went first pitch swinging, fouled it off, and it's 0-1. Hunter Hines, who's in the on-deck circle, who YD has played a lot at DH this season, is out in the field at first due to Montgomery occupying the DH spot. Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Montgomery. One of a few hitters over 300 this season. At .302, 13 for 43. Lined out toward shallow center field. That's a base hit. Austin heading into third. He slides there safely. And Montgomery lifts a base hit into center, and they're on the corners for Hunter Hines.
Nice work by Montgomery. He was attacking from the jump as expected. Missed the first two, was underneath them, adjusted on that third one, saw it coming in slightly higher, and just put bat to ball, put it on a line straightaway center. And because it didn't travel as far, there was a little bit of a run for Eddie King Jr. The Orleans outfield is played very deep on these two in the lineup. It's the power part of the lineup for the Red Sox with Montgomery, Hines, and then Darby following.
Hines lines this one right side. It's off the glove of Joe Oyama and into right field. Braden Montgomery was dead in the water there if Oyama made that play. It was a really tough one for Joe Oyama, who had to make quite a leap, but it's a base hit for Hunter Hines instead, and it's an RBI for the CCBL's leader in runs batted in, and they're on first and second. A 3-1 ball game now with Xander Darby at the plate.
YD will not go quietly today. There's a lot on the line with this game, that East Division title. They've been in the lead all year. To see that come down to the wire at the end, they will not let Orleans walk all over them.
Darby pops this one up towards short. Penny backpedaling. The infield fly is called, and that's the second out of the inning.
Next up, out of Gonzaga, number 3, Enzo.
Red Sox looking to avoid stranding a pair. Enzo Apodaca going to try and work some two-out magic here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the first.
The lefty, who spent 2 years at Gonzaga and is currently in the transfer portal, hit his first home run 2 days ago.
That was in Brewster. Fence a little shorter here in YD. Maybe you could do it again. That would give the Red Sox the lead. And he launches this one deep out towards right field. Trimble giving it a look, but it drops foul. That ball was crushed by Enzo.
I thought you almost called that one.
That would have been something. That ball ended up being closer to the pole and being fair than I thought it was going to be off the bat, but regardless, it was hammered by Enzo. Got good bat on ball against Windsor. Hard throwing righty. It's been up to 95 with the fastball. You can reflect that back the other way. Apodaca instead pops it up to the middle infield. Penny backpedaling into the grass. He makes the catch in shallow center, and that retires the side. But the Red Sox do get one back on Hunter Hines' RBI single, and it's a 3-1 game headed to the second. We've hyped it up for the last week, and the Donut Burger Taste Test is coming in the top of the second inning. When we come back, you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Hi everyone, we're back. Welcome into the YD Red Sox broadcast booth. Perri and I, with this being the final home game of the regular season, have finally acquired the Donut Burgers. And so we are going to try them here on the air as we get into this second inning. It's a 3-1 game. Orleans leading YD. Gavin Bruni is taking the mound for the Red Sox in relief as we expected he would do. What's the sense waiting around anymore? I think we dive right in.
So I have the triple play. It's the glazed donut with bacon and a plain burger, and Luke has the Screamer, which is a Boston cream donut with the burger in it. So let's go for it.
Cheers this really quick.
Oh, yeah.
What's your verdict?
I am not mad at that at all.
I like it. I
No
really
way. No way.
do. And the Boston cream, which I did get some of that in the bite. And it was good. And I will finish that.
I have to say, I'm a big fan of the bacon. I think the bacon, the salt, is a nice touch.
I didn't get bacon, but I think the cream makes up for that.
What a day.
What a day. Shenanigans in the broadcast booth here in the regular season home finale for the Red Sox as Joe Oyama climbs in, shows bunt, and pulls back on a first pitch strike from Gavin Bruni.
Orleans went all the way through their order in that first inning, so Oyama is leading off for the second inning in a row. Bruni trying to limit the damage.
Swing and a miss, it's 0-2. Montgomery punched Oyama out in the first inning. Montgomery recorded all 3 of his outs on the strikeout. 2 of them were looking to the 1 and 9 men in the order, Oyama and Casey. Got a swinging strikeout from Penny. Bruni's 0-2 is cut on and missed, strike 3. Looking to rally here as we get towards the middle part of this game, and Gavin Bruni's going to have to hang some zeros if that's possible. That's a fine way to start. 1 away for Fenwick Trimble. Did not have a very long at-bat. His first time up, he got plunked by Braden Montgomery. Came around to score the first run for Orleans.
That is the first time all season that Fenwick Trimble has reached base against YD. He was 0 for 20 before that. No walks. That was it. The hit by pitch.
Pops it up into foul territory on the right side. Hines hustling over. He makes the catch.
And it's this streak that's been running all season. Still hitless, still walkless. The hit by pitch did it. He's come across to score 1 run because he was put in as a pinch runner in one of the prior YD Orleans games. But Trimble has been a good hitter all season. He's been in the lineup every single game against YD, so he is now 0 for 21 in 22 plate appearances.
Quickly 2 away for Jack Penny, who takes the ball inside. Penny struck out swinging in the first. Trimble batting a little higher than we've normally seen him in the lineup. As Penny flies this one out to left. If this is playable for Austin, which it looks like it should be, and he makes the catch. That's a very quick inning for Gavin Bruni, who gets through his first inning of work and did it in just 7 pitches. That's exactly what YD needs as they bring the bats back to the plate, and we will dive into these donut burgers during the break. Headed to the bottom of the second here from Red Wilson Field. It's 3-1 Firebirds. Into the bottom of the second, and there is less donut burger left in the container than there was before we went to break. It's a 3-1 game led by Orleans. Ryan Jackson leading off for YD. He takes the ball outside. Cannot be understated, Perri, how important it was to get that quick inning for Gavin Bruni. It can be tough, especially as a guy who's used to starting, to come in relief like that after he put in an opener, and especially to come in early because he thought he was going to come in the third, came in the second. He looked as comfortable as he's looked all season.
Bruni looked fantastic, and he had the support from the outfield, hustling on those plays. That was Skylar King's first put out of the season, out and left.
Jackson shows bunt and pulls it back on strike one.
There were 3 Red Sox heading towards that ball, and it looked like it might drop, but the communication was there at the end.
3-1 to Jackson. So a clean inning to the top of the Orleans order from Gavin Bruni. Hunter Hines had a hustle play as well, making a catch on a foul pop-up. Ryan Jackson, a .340 hitter, takes strike 2. At .340 average leads the team.
Skylar King on deck. We'll see him for the very first time. Excited about that.
Payoff to Jackson, hit out towards right field. Trimble going over to foul territory. On the run, a sliding catch. That ball just kept pushing further and further from the line. It looked rather routine off the bat, but it was anything but for Fenwick Trimble, who had to go way into foul territory and made a really nice sliding grab for the first out of the inning.
Looks like YD could go just as quickly as Orleans went in the top half here. Skylar King at the plate trying to change that.
King out of West Virginia, the Mountaineer. And he flies the first pitch he sees out towards shallow left. It'll actually stay on the infield for Stallman, who puts it away with 2 hands. We are on pace for a lightning fast second inning at this rate. Theo Hardy looking to change that, and for YD, maybe good guy to start a rally. Theo was 3 for 4 yesterday.
Hardy's been breaking out lately. He had the adjustment period for the wood bats. We've seen that a lot this season. Saw with Xander Darby, and since then has been on fire.
First pitch swinging, might have broken his bat on a slow roller to short. Penny up with it, throws on the run over to first, and it's in time for the third out of the inning. Well, that was rather quick. We head to the third. It's still 3-1 Firebirds on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Now batting out of UC San Diego, number 31, Matt Hallback.
Top of the third inning here from Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley with Perri Kitei, Anna Tedeschi. All of us here in the final regular season home game of the year for YD. First pitch from Gavin Bruni in this inning is a strike for Matt Hallback. Bruni's 0-1 runs inside. Threw just 7 pitches in his first inning of work, retiring top 3 men in the order. 1-1 is spoiled foul. It's a ball and 2 strikes to Hallback, who has Orleans' only hit up to this point. It was a opposite field bloop single out into right center. One-two hit on the ground over towards third. It handcuffs Theo Hardy, or rather Xander Darby, as it is into left field. Darby had to go after it on the run. We'll check the scorer's decision there. It will be hit number 2 for Matt Hallback, as called a single. And now Eddie Micheletti up, runner on first, nobody out.
There's some leniency there with that call on the error because Darby had a good play on it. He just tipped it off the side of his glove. It's tough on the run, but I think at a higher level of baseball, that might be scored as an error.
First pitch is in there for strike 1 on the swing and miss from Micheletti. One of 4 straight walks in the last inning or in the first inning, I should say, from Braden Montgomery. Feels like the last inning, the way that Gavin Bruni came out and back in the second and made it rather quick. 0-2 the count to Micheletti. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bruni's second strikeout is a breaking ball with some chase from Eddie Micheletti. He's down on 3 pitches, and there's one away for Eddie King.
Bruni has come in, and he is dealing 12 strikes and 2 balls and 14 total pitches so far. Completely contrast that first inning. Orleans has to swing early here, or they'll fall behind in the count.
Spikes the first pitch to King for ball 1. King walked and made it up to third, was the furthest man stranded in that 3-run first inning by Orleans. 3 runs off just 1 hit in that inning. Breaking ball falls in for strike 1. Bruni, one of 2 Ohio State lefties on this pitching staff. He, along with Landon Beidelshees. 1-1 flies away, 2 balls and a strike. Bruni 6'3", 210, native of Alliance, Ohio. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. This is Bruni's second appearance out of the bullpen. And something of a starting role as he came in the second inning. Started 2 games this season for YD. And his 2-2 rings him up. Strike 3 to Eddie King, painted on the inner part of the plate. Back-to-back Ks, 1 each way for Gavin Bruni, and now there's 2 away as Brandon Stahlman strides up to the plate.
This is the best we've seen Bruni look since July 11th when he came out of the bullpen against Harwich, pitched 2.1 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs in that one. In the past, it's the free passes, the walks that have been his Achilles heel. He's given up 10 walks all season across those 8.1 innings.
1-0 is poked foul, a ball and a strike to Stahlman.
But today, been all over the zone.
Walked 4 in his first appearance against Harwich. Got the winning decision, though, as his college teammate Landon Beidelshees came in with some inherited runners behind him and shut the door. Will then walk 3 against Brewster and Kitei at each of his last 2 appearances. Big swing and a miss on the 1-1 offering. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Bruni hasn't really pitched his way into any 3-ball counts since he's entered this game.
He only has 5 balls total.
1-2 to Stahlman. Lifted up, little soft looper left side on the run. Darby can't get there. Just out of his reach from third. And it's another 1-2 count to Stahlman. Left on left as he climbs back in. Bruni looking for his third strikeout of the inning after the leadoff single. Hit on the ground over towards second. It's fielded in shallow right by Jackson, who is shifted, has a long throw, but it is in time to first and Hunter Hines. And that's the top of the third. We head to the home half. YD looking to claw their way back in this one. 3-1 Firebirds, our score on the Capely Broadcast Network. Three-one Firebirds, and a new pitcher takes the bump. It was an opener type of day for each of these two teams as Orleans goes to their bullpen in the bottom of the third. Mauricio Rodriguez out of Rice takes over for Jaden Winter, who went 2 innings. Gave up 3 hits, 1 run, all of those coming in the first inning. No walks and 1 strikeout. RJ Austin comes up to lead off at the top of the YD order as the Red Sox look to get back into this one. They're out hitting Orleans 3-2, but the walks haunted the Red Sox in the first, and they trail by a pair. First pitch is yanked down low for ball 1 from Mauricio Rodriguez, 6'2", 215-pound righty out of Revere, Massachusetts. One's twirled foul, and it's 1-1. Plays his college ball down south in Houston with the Rice Owls. Has appeared in 2 games, one of them against YD. He threw 1 scoreless inning with 1 strikeout and 1 hit allowed. Since then, he's appeared once more. Gets a swing and miss there against Austin, and it's 1-2. He went 1 2/3 in relief against Chatham in a 5-4 loss. Gave up 1 run off no hits and 2 walks, faced 8 batters. 1-2 cut on and missed in the dirt, strike 3. Austin trying to say that he tipped it, but the home plate umpire not agreeing with him. 1 away in the bottom of the third.
Next up, out of Cal Poly,
It was a close one on the ground there, but I don't think contact was made. Now it's Ryan Stafford who struck out his first time around. Both of these teams trying to put the freshest arms possible on the mound.
Stafford takes the ball outside, 1-0. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Pitch is bounced in, 2 balls and no strikes. Mauricio Rodriguez, who a bit of a journey through college, started in the Big East for the Georgetown Hoyas in 2021 and then only made 2 appearances, transferred to JUCO before bouncing back at Rice. Stafford puts a motor into this one out towards right center field, back at the wall, and that's going to drop in and split the gap. Stafford will pull into second base safely, and he got a good pitch and a 2-0 count, golfed it out to right, and the Red Sox have a man in scoring position with 1 away for Braden Montgomery.
With the size of this field, it is so rare to see a true double sneak through the gap and get to the fence. But that one perfectly split it right down the middle. He had a lot of pop on it. Really hard hit. Really nice work from Ryan Stafford to put himself in scoring position, and now the tying run is at the plate with YD's biggest power hitters coming up.
Hits in 5 straight now for Stafford as Braden Montgomery swings and misses for strike 1. An extra base hit in each of the last 2 for YD's catcher out of Cal Poly as well. Montgomery takes the ball outside. It's 1-1. He is 1 for 1 on the day. He hit a single up the middle in the first inning that moved R.J. Austin up to third. He would eventually score on the Hunter Hines RBI single. Broken bat looper out towards left. That's going to drop in, and Stafford's going to try to score. It handcuffs up on Casey as Montgomery heading for second. The throw is not in time. It's an RBI single for Braden Montgomery as Ryan Stafford scores, and it's a 1-run ball game.
Next up, out of Mississippi State.
Montgomery absolutely making up for that first inning of pitching at the plate. 2 for 2, has come around to score. He has an RBI now. And that tying run for YD is on second base.
Scorers gave him a double. So for now at least, Montgomery halfway to the cycle. And now Hunter Hines a chance to tie this game, maybe give the Red Sox the lead. He's got 12 homers on the year. And he crushes this one up the middle. It's off the second base bag, and it gets past Penny. Montgomery will score. And Hines catching a lucky break. It was a good hit, unlucky, and then lucky again. Orleans was shifted for him. That would have been a base hit if they were positioned normally. Hines hit it right into the shift, but got a lucky bounce off the second base bag that carried it into center. He's 2 for 2. He has another RBI, his second of the game, and we are tied in the third.
Can't draw it up better than that. YD is getting some breaks here and looking really strong at the plate.
Darby goes first pitch swinging and flies it foul.
He's 0 for 1 today. Was part of that really quick second inning.
Was so interesting with Hunter Hines that he hit that ball as closely into the shift as he probably could have. He hit that right at Jack Penny, but got the lucky break. Darby takes sign away. It's 1-1.
Montgomery, regardless, would have gotten to third, but coming around to score and then tie the game is huge.
Two and one now, the count to Darby, and maybe a chance for more with just 1 away for the Red Sox. Double play is in effect in the middle infield, playing the depth for Orleans, but
they're a team that has strung together hits all season. They build off each other. We usually see hits come in bunches.
Darby ahead 3-1 here as Rodriguez spent a bit around the zone in this at-bat. On deck, Enzo Apodaca for 1 with a pop out to short. He, along with Xander Darby, both did that in their first at-bats on back-to-back plate appearances. 3-1 runs in for ball 4. And Darby works the 5-pitch walk.
Next up, out of Gonzaga, number 3.
That first inning looked
Enzo
grim, and
Apodaca.
since then, YD has been on fire. Orleans' momentum has been completely squashed at this point. Tie ball game. It's a fresh start here, and YD has 2 aboard with just 1 gone. Apodaca crushed it foul on the first pitch of his at-bat last time around before popping it up to short, but overall has been one of the better contact hitters. He's at 267 with a 360 on-base percentage.
And it really feels like that 1 run that YD got in the first kind of settled them into this game a little bit, because they were on their heels after that first half inning, but the offense got going in that first, and from there it's really felt like the momentum has gone their way. Apodaca cuts and misses at the first pitch. Nearly called my shot last time Enzo was at the plate. Hit a really long foul ball. Takes a beautiful backdoor sweeper there for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Apodaca. Not a challenge pitch that time from Rodriguez, way outside, and Enzo will see another one. He's got 9 RBIs this season, batting from the left side. He's normally been near the top or the bottom of the lineup. Interesting to see him down the middle here today. Rolls this one over towards first. A tough play. It's off the glove of Hallback. He scoops, fires to his covering pitcher in time as Rodriguez got over to it. Excellent recovery by Matt Hallback. A bang-bang play at first. Essentially does the same as a bunt. Fortunately for YD, as there is no chance at the double play there. The runners move up to second and third, and a base hit can maybe give YD the lead. They will look to Ryan Jackson to provide.
That looked like Enzo might have beaten it out for a second, but Hallback got to that so quickly, and Rodriguez was sprinting over. It was a foot race between him and Apodaca. Rodriguez had the head start and beat him by just a step.
Jackson takes strike 1. So YD has this game tied. They've now recorded 6 hits in this game. But a 7th in this spot would be huge. Jackson takes another one at the low part of the zone, strike 2. Skylar King is on deck for the Red Sox. Only saw 1 pitch in his debut at bat, popped out to third base.
Last time around, we saw Jackson and King go after it on the first pitch and were retired on the first pitch.
Good hold on the 0-2 from Jackson as that one swept off the plate. Ball and 2 strikes as the YD second baseman and USC Trojan being a little more patient here in his second at bat. Still down in the count. Jackson lifts this one out towards right. Trimble has a beat on it, and he makes the catch on a ball slicing towards him in right, and that ends the inning. But the Red Sox get a crucial 2 runs, and as we head to the 4th, it's a tie game from Red Wilson Field. 3-3 between the Firebirds and YD. Back in a moment here on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Now batting.
Top of the fourth at Red Wilson Field, and it is a ball game in the battle for the East Division. YD has a 1-point lead on Orleans. The Firebirds open this one up 3-0, and YD has chipped away since then, thanks in part to some fantastic pitching from Gavin Bruni coming in after a disastrous first. Bruni has 25 total pitches through those 2 innings. He's only allowed 1 base runner. Ball 2 dealt low. The check swing did not go around from Henry Hunter, who was part of a 4 walk-in-a-row streak. In the midst of that first inning, the 2-0 comes in, bumped foul. 4 strike 1. Slight shift in play with Ryan Jackson over at second in the shallow outfield. Other than that, Hardy and Darby both pulled over a little bit to the pull side, but still on the left side of the bag as the 2-1 just misses the bottom of the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike. What a break from Bruni on that. Just backdoored into the zone at the last minute. Looked like it might dive, but stay up there, and he runs the count full. Hunter 1 for 6 with 3 walks against YD all season. The payoff just pushed foul at the last minute. Could have maybe flown outside, but it would have been a dangerous take, and Hunter plays defense. Another payoff popped up into foul territory towards the bleachers and over the trees, traveling a lot farther than it looked initially. I thought that might drop in foul territory. Instead, it's way over the fence. And we will do it again at 3-2. Bruni fires. Ball 4. First walk from Gavin Bruni, and Henry Hunter made him work for it. It was an 8-pitch at bat for the Orleans catcher, and they've made their way to the bottom of the lineup once again with Jake Casey stepping back up.
Yeah, it's not one of those walks you're going to be too frustrated with. Obviously, anytime you give up a free pass, it's going to irk at you a little bit, but when you're throwing everything in the zone and the guy's fouling it off, you go out of the zone once and he takes. It's tough.
First pitch ball comes into Jake Casey, who was rung up his first time around. That ended the first inning. Orleans batted through the entire order. This one crushed out towards center field. Austin heading back on it at the fence, and he makes the grab. An unbelievable home run robbery from RJ Austin. He timed that perfectly, all the way back at the fence, got it on the jump, glove over the yellow tape. Wow, it's going to bring me to tears. That's the kind of play that you come to this league to watch happen.
We don't normally see RJ Austin in center, but how's that for what's been kind of his secondary or even tertiary position this season? That was a true home run robbery. That was getting out.
Holds up Henry Hunter as well at first base. He was well on his way to second and forced to retreat with the grab. Oyama at the plate. He's struck out twice and takes the first pitch ball. The 1-0 hit in the air. That'll drop in right field. Off one bounce. Apodaca throwing it in on the way to third. And it's cut off before it gets there by Bruni, by Theo Hardy actually. Oyama gets his first hit of the day. That's his first hit against YD in a long time. He's been Orleans' best hitter. He's up there in the MVP race, definitely, for the entire league. And now runners on the corners with one out for Orleans. Just popped it up over the infield on the right side. Shallow enough to drop. Pickoff from Bruni. No tag. It's Fenwick Trimble back at the plate. And it's popped sky high into foul territory. Hines moving over on it, but it will reach out of play. And he's down 0-1. I won't say what I know the both of us are thinking because I would never put that energy out there into the world, but Trimble on the 0-1 count has a bit of a streak going. Another pickoff flies towards second. Oyama is a big base stealer all year for Orleans. He has, can't find it on here, but a lot of them.
Six stolen bases this season for Oyama, and also stolen in the All-Star game.
It's actually less than I thought. 0-1 flies in at the shoulders, ball one. Maybe it's because he's stolen at least 2 of those against YD. Jack Penny, the shortstop out of Notre Dame, is on deck. 1-1 on the way. Grounded up the middle, and Fenwick Trimble has his first hit of the series between these two teams. Not only the day, finally breaks a streak that we've been talking about all season. We knew it was coming. I asked Luke before the game, Luke, do you think Fenwick Trimble is going to get his first hit today? He said yes. And here it is. 1 run comes across, and Orleans retakes the lead 4-3.
Fortunately, for those on lower sides of streaks, they have a tendency to come to an end after a long enough time, and it was Fenwick Trimble's time, who's now been on base twice. It's tough. You would have loved after that home run robbery by R.J. Austin for this inning to end scoreless, but still limited.
This one flown out towards right field. King misreads it, went back on it, and it drops. As the gun comes in, Oyama is held up, but if King read that from the jump, maybe could have had a play on it. Instead, taking those steps back to prevent it going over the head. Turns out to give Jack Penny his first hit of the day. And the bases are loaded for Orleans, still just 1 gone.
Yeah, like you said, you always want to take that first step back. Unfortunately for King, though, he took that step back and then didn't really see where the ball was, had a moment of hesitation, and that was enough for the ball to drop in front of him. Looks like we're going to visit out to the mound. Gavin Bruni was getting ready to throw a pitch, but nobody up in the YD bullpen, so just a chat with the bases loading up.
We knew this one was going to be competitive. It's lived up to that expectation so far. Bruni still just 1 walk, but up to 40 total pitches now. Came into this one with 24. It's a tense meeting between or amongst the whole infield. There's 3 total mound visits every single time an umpire especially emphasizes the number of mound visits. I just think about the College World Series when Florida was penalized for overdoing it on the mound visits. I think that really changed the way a lot of these coaches pay attention to the number of mound visits that have happened. Bases loaded. First pitch to Matt Halbach. Dives low, ball 1. There's strike 1 on the outside corner. Fastball low and away.
Looks like Will Armbruster has just started warming up in the YD bullpen.
The next pitch ran in on the hands. Too far in, and it's 2 balls and a strike to Matt Halbach. It's lined up the middle into center field. That'll drop. Austin throws the gun in towards home. It's off target. Now there's another play coming to the plate, and he's out. 1 run comes across for Orleans. They tried to sneak another one in there, and Fenwick Trimble gunned at the plate. Hines almost didn't even see it coming because he didn't expect the runner to go.
Yeah, Hines was shocked, and I mean, he had every reason to be. There was tons of space trying to see, but can't quite catch on the replay whether or not Trimble ran through a stop sign there. He was not running on contact, and he paid the price for it. That was not close.
An important second out, however, for the Red Sox, and runners on first and second as a first pitch ball flies into Eddie Micheletti Jr., who walked and has gone down swinging today. The sun reappears from behind some clouds. Huge cut and miss, and the throw down to second. He's caught in a rundown. The tag applied, and they call him safe. They say Penny somehow stole that base, snuck his toe in under the tag from Darby. I thought he was dead in the water. But trickiness on the base paths, and Penny has the stolen base.
Man, and that was such a good heads-up play, too, by Ryan Stafford. It's unfortunate there that YD couldn't get an out because of it, because that was a really nice job to read that secondary lead and throw behind the runner. But also credit to the base runner there, Penny. You know, it probably was a mistake to come off the base that far, but as soon as he saw Stafford get up and get ready to throw, he made the split decision that he was going to try for third. If you hesitate at all there, you're getting thrown out.
He was pretty far down the baseline by the time it reached Hardy at second. It was a gun from Stafford. And I thought it reached Darby in time, but the view over there, Penny just got underneath it. Orleans leading 5-3. This one's flared out towards left field. That will drop on the line. Fair ball now in the bullpen. King has it. 1 run's already come around. The throw does not come to the plate. Hardy eats it. And it's a bases clearing RBI, 2 RBI double for Eddie Micheletti Jr. Orleans laying it on here in the third. They have doubled their run total. More than that now. They've put up 4. And it's 7-3.
And Orleans is doing what winning teams do, which is taking a very small break that goes your way and opening that up into a big knockout type punch. YD nearly had the pickoff to end the inning there. They get the slide in safe at third, and they take advantage.
We're down to Eddie King Jr. in the lineup, and he takes a first pitch strike on the outside. A 3 spot in the first and a 4 spot in the fourth for Orleans. 0-1, huge cut and a miss from King Jr., and he is down 0-2. Back-to-back Eddies in the lineup. 0-2, jammed over the head of Hunter Hines, leaping for it. The run will come in to score from second as it's cut off by Ryan Jackson, and Orleans is just pouring it on. Micheletti scores from second. King has his first hit of the day, and it's 8-3 Firebirds.
Man, this has just been a game of inches so far, and it went YD's way for a couple of innings, and now it has turned entirely back into Orleans' game here in the fourth.
It felt in the first that Orleans' lead wasn't due to their appearances at the plate. They only had one hit, instead due to the pitching from YD, but here they are earning every single one of these runs. Brandon Stallman back 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. Stallman out of Charlotte in North Carolina. First pitch drops in there for strike one. Stallman is a native of Union, Missouri, but plays his college ball on the East Coast. The 0-1 comes in and it hits him. He takes a base. And this nightmare inning stretches on for the Red Sox with 2 outs. Coach Pickler coming out of the dugout. That will likely spell the day for Gavin Bruni, who started off looking the best we've seen him, and here in the third after one time through, Orleans figured him out. And Will Armbruster will come in to pick up the slack. We'll step aside for a moment while he warms up and be back soon on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Alabama, Birmingham, number 40, Henry Hunter.
Henry Hunter will be the first to face Will Armbruster. Out of UAB, that's Alabama, Birmingham. Holds off on a first pitch ball. Runners on first and second. It's been a 5 spot in the fourth for Orleans. Still plenty of time for YD to get back into this one. They have 6 hits, but it will be a long uphill climb once YD gets out of this inning. Swing and a miss there for strike one, which is not a given at any moment considering the way Orleans is putting bat to ball right now. Broken bat, foul. That's strike 2. We see chips of it facing away.
Yeah, you can still use that thing. Let's use the other side.
Hunter is really taking his time getting a new bat right now. Ball 2 gets away slightly from Stafford, but he keeps it in front to hold off the runners. It has been a lengthy top of the fourth. The 2-2 just bumped foul off the tip of the bat. And Hunter will see another pitch. Armbruster set the 2-2 at the shoulders. Full count. The payoff. High and away, ball 4. And the inning continues. Armbruster starts off with a walk against the first batter faced. He has 2 inherited base runners on second and third. And Jake Casey will step to the plate as Orleans has once again batted through the entire order in 1 inning.
Everyone has reached base in this inning except for Casey.
First pitch drops in there for strike 1, sweeping across towards the batter. A ball and a strike with 2 outs, bases loaded. The damage is at 5 runs, and any more would be devastating at this point. 1-1 on the ground towards second. Jackson scoops it, spins, and makes the throw in time. A necessary third out for YD. They give up 5 in the top of the fourth. The Orleans bats are on fire, and YD has their work cut out for them. We'll see how they do in the bottom half when we're back on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Skylar King out of West Virginia University leads off. He is 0 for 1 with a flyout. He's seen a lot of action in left field. It's been a tough go of it so far, and he lays off on a first pitch strike from Mauricio Rodriguez back out there for inning number 2. Theo Hardy on deck. YD will flip the order. And the next pitch, ball runs just upstairs. Rodriguez fires. Gorgeous breaking slider in on King. 1-2 to the lefty. He chops it foul up the first base line, bounced high in the air, and it'll stay at 1-2. The field is in the shade now as the sun has dropped behind some clouds. A slight warning of sorts from the umpire over towards the YD dugout. The 1-2 on the ground towards first, scooped by Hallback nicely up the line, and he taps it for the 3 unassisted putout. First time King has gotten solid contact, but Hallback had that line under control, and that's out number 1.
Yeah, hit that up pretty good, but Hallback got that glove flush with the ground and got him on the ground out. Feels like the Red Sox need 1 or 2 runs in this inning. See if Theo Hardy can turn the lineup over, something he was really good at yesterday.
First pitch runs in, almost hits him for ball 1. Ball 2, same spot, gets away from Hunter this time, and Hardy's ahead 2-0. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Rodriguez deals ball 3 inside. A hitter's count for Hardy. I doubt we'll see the green light on here, but I always say that and then I'm wrong. Fourth pitch on the way. Inside, ball 4. 4 nearly identical pitches, all of them running in on Hardy. Rodriguez just couldn't locate. And YD has a base runner aboard for the top of the lineup in the form of RJ Austin. Austin 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. His last time swinging, tried to argue that he got a tip on it, but was disagreed with. First pitch hits him on the shoulder, clips the jersey, and 2 free passes in a row for the Red Sox. Have them on first and second for Ryan Stafford, who hit a monster double his last time around.
Number 7, Ryan Stafford.
If you want to start a rally, this is the way to do it. 2 on quickly with 1 out. Stafford will be followed by Montgomery and Hines. Long chat from Hunter to Rodriguez, and he is returning behind the plate. The 3 to the left shift is on. There is nobody between first and second right now. If Stafford can beat that shift, first pitch on the way, flies away into the opposite box, nicely blocked by Hunter. Inning-ending double play in effect here. Stafford absolutely cannot put this on the left side of the infield. And now a second visit. This time a coach comes out for the first coach visit. Action in the bullpen for Orleans.
Ryan Rhesus, it looks like, the lefty.
We've seen him before.
We have, as have we seen Mauricio Rodriguez. I believe they came in back-to-back if they do that again.
It's the way things work with that bullpen schedule. You usually have the same guys, the same days. 1-0 count to Ryan Stafford. Rodriguez crouched and ready. The 1-0 drops low and away ball, too. Strike one nicely breaks into the top of the zone, taken by Stafford. The count's 2-1 with 1 out. Bunt is shown, laid down up the third baseline. That's a good one. No play on it. Ryan Stafford, a bunt single, loads the bases. You could not place that any more perfectly up the third base line, and it was completely unexpected from Stallman, especially on the 1-strike count. He hadn't shown it yet. Such a good call from Coach Pickler, a gutsy one, but it goes to his favor.
Yeah, being ahead in the count, I don't think anybody's expecting bunt there, and that was perfect from Ryan Stafford.
Brings up Montgomery, who's 2 for 2. And ball one runs in on him. He has a single and a double. It was scored as a double. Definitely could have been a single with an error in the outfield. Casey bobbled it around a little bit, got away from him, but he has a double on the scorecard. The 1-0 bounces and knocked down in front, ball 2.
I wonder with, you'd like Montgomery to get a good pitch here and swing, but how wary are you of maybe taking another if you're Montgomery, being ahead in the count and seeing this pitcher a little around the zone?
Goes after a pitch that most definitely would have been a strike. Fouls it away for strike one. Two and one now to Montgomery. The switch hitter out of Stanford. And ball 3 misses just off the plate. Nice take from Montgomery. He's at 3-1. Runners take their leads all around. And that's ball. I thought that was ball 4. Montgomery thought that was ball 4, but it was called strike 2. My mistake at the top of the zone. Just barely snuck in there. It's a full count. Bases loaded, 1 gone. Runner bluffs at third. Pitch on the way. Ripped out towards right field. Coming over on it. Trimble makes the grab. Runner's tag. The throw coming in towards third. Won't be there in time. So it's a sac fly for Braden Montgomery. Hardy scores. Austin tags and advances to third. And Stafford is held up at first. Got it out there deep enough to score a run. Better yet, advance Austin as well over to third. 2 gone now for Hunter Hines. And that will be the day for Rodriguez. We will head to break as Orleans makes a pitching change and be back for the rest of this 4th inning action. It's been a good one on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
State, number 44.
Big moment for
Hunter
YD here as
Hines.
Hunter Hines, the league's home run leader, coming to the plate with 2 runners on, 2 out in an 8-4 ball game. YD's gotten 1 back, but would hate to leave these 2 on after a momentous inning so far. Ryan Reeses at the plate in relief. YD has seen him before. Hines flares the first pitch foul. He's gone 2 1/3 innings against YD, did not allow a run, struck out 1, allowed 2 hits, 3 walks. Hines is down 0-1. Pitch on the way, called strike on the outer half. Hines disagrees and he's down 0-2. Hunter giving signs to his lefty pitcher, facing the lefty batter. The shift is on to the pull side for Hines. A lot of space up the gap on the opposite side. 0-2 on the way. Pushed foul off the tip of the bat, and Hines will see another one. Battling that away over the outer half. Reeses fires, runner goes, ball 4. Austin moves back to third as the throw from Hunter came in over there, but Stafford advances to second on the stolen base. Hines now sitting at 1-2. Reeses signaling for a new call, now set. Runner bluffs, pitch on the way, swung through and missed, strike 3, drop third, that ends the inning. YD leaves 2 in scoring position and they only get back 1 against Orleans. It's 8-4 Firebirds heading to the top of the 5th. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 5th. This one has dragged on. We're almost at 2 hours of game time, and we are not even halfway through. As Armbruster's back on the mound, facing Joe Oyama again at the top of the order. 4th time through already for Orleans is starting now, as Oyama takes one inside, almost hits him. It's been a high-scoring day all around. 8 hits for Orleans, 7 for the Red Sox. The story of the day has been the free passes. As the 1-0 is nicely framed on the outer corner for strike 1. Armbruster fires. It's rolled on the ground towards second. Should be routine, and it is from Jackson to Hines for out number 1. The runs have come in bunches here. YD has 1 in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 in the fourth, but Orleans 3 in the first, 5 in the fourth, scoreless in the other 2. Armbruster, recent addition out of Arizona State. This is the 3rd time we're seeing him on the bump for YD. First pitch, swing on, swings and misses. Fenwick Trimble back around. He's 1 for 2 and has been hit by a pitch, so he's reached base twice. Popped out into foul territory on the other one. Bunt is shown, and ball 1 is taken away as Trimble pulls it back. Armbruster fires, bunt is shown and fouled towards his teammate Jack Penny in the on-deck circle. He falls behind 1-2. Armbruster is going into his senior year at Arizona State. Stands at 6'6", the right-hander out of Sammamish, Washington. Ball 2 flies away. Trimble, meanwhile, plays for James Madison University. An All-Sun Belt Conference second-team selection in 2023. 2-2, yanked foul into the fence. Trimble was an extra base machine in 2023. He had 22 doubles, 2 triples, and 13 home runs. But he swings and misses and goes down on strikes this time around. And Armbruster has retired 2 in a row.
Number 11, Jack Penny.
Jack Penny out of Notre Dame, playing at short today. We've seen him at third most of the time. Ball 1 runs inside. He went to Phillips Academy, also known as Andover, native of Wakefield, Massachusetts. Two balls, no strikes to the 6-foot lefty. And ball 3 bounces off Stafford's foot. It's 3-0. YD has not had a 1-2-3 inning since the top of the second from Bruni. As strike 1 paints the inside corner. Nice over the plate. Penny resets, shift on, 3 to the right. And ball 4 is outside, so the 1-2-3 inning will not come around this time as Penny walks on 5 pitches, and that brings up Matt Halbach.
San Diego, number 31, Matt Halbach.
Obviously, you know, you can't really afford to give anything up more in this game, but, you know, this does feel like a game that YD could still make a rally towards headed into the back half. The most important thing, though, is that this bullpen pitching needs to hold up and keep it at 8 runs.
This one lightly chopped towards Armbruster himself, and his throw to Hines is well in time, nicely fielded by the pitcher. Holds Orleans to just 4 batters in that one, and we head to the bottom half of the 5th finally. Halfway through after an hour and 50 minutes of game time. We'll be back shortly on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Xander Darby 0 for 1 today with a walk facing Ryan Reeses, who came in to shut the door with 2 on, 2 out in the 4th. Bottom 5 now. Darby grounds it up the first baseline, but foul. Might have been a crack in the bat there. We have seen many broken bats, and he's asking for a new one out of the dugout. The YD bullpen did their job in the top half, keeping Orleans off the board. And now trying to bite their way into this 4-run deficit. It absolutely does not feel out of hand yet. There's half a game left to play still. It's been dramatic to start off. And the rally starts now potentially with UCSB's Xander Darby. Darby batting .287 coming into today. The 0-1 yanked foul to the opposite side, 0-2. Oh-2, check swing, called strike 3. Darby retired on just 3 pitches, and that will bring up Enzo Apodaca, who is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out. A lot of space up the middle. First pitch on the way. Outside, ball 1.
Start it up, Enzo.
1-0 ripped into the glove of Matt Hallback. That is so unfortunate. Hallback was perfectly placed up the line to catch it on a line, and there's 2 gone quickly for the Red Sox.
Yeah, it's extra bases robbed from Enzo Apodaca. YD can't have this sputter too much, though, as you know, you're not necessarily running out of time, but with a lead being this large, you'd like to chip away here with a run or 2 each inning.
First pitch ball dealt to Ryan Jackson out of USC. The Trojan wearing his Trojan gold and crimson. As strike 1 is perfectly on line with that front side of the plate. Ryan Reeses out of UCSD, San Diego. Kicks and deals inside, ball 3. He was mostly a relief guy in 2023. 18 appearances, 1 start, 5 saves to the season, 31 innings pitched. The 3-1 swung on late and missed as the pitch went diving down. Jackson regretted the swing. The count's full. The payoff chopped up towards second. Oyama has it on a couple bounces and swings it over. 3 up, 3 down for the Red Sox. Not the inning they were hoping for, as they're retired in order, heading to the top of the 6th now on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Back again, top of the 6th after a quick 5th. Both teams went quietly. And Armbruster is back out for the Sox, facing Eddie Micheletti Jr. Micheletti, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored today. Oh, excuse me, that's the entire series. 2 RBIs, however, 2 runs scored today with 1 hit and 1 walk as the count moves to 1-1. Armbruster fires. It's on the ground towards second. Couple of hops towards Jackson. And it's identical to the 4-3 putout that ended the last one for the Red Sox. One gone in the top of the 6th.
Number 14, Eddie King.
Eddie King Jr., a walk, a single, and a strikeout looking today. He has an RBI off 1 hit. And his walk. First pitch on the way from Armbruster flies away for ball 1. Even infield for the Red Sox. The outfield shifted slightly to the pull side as strike 1 drops in on the break. Not the corner outfield, really just Austin in center is moved over to the left. The 1-1. Tipped foul by King. And the count's at 1-2. Pitch on the way. Flown out to shallow left field. On the run, Theo Hardy over his shoulder. Makes the grab to keep Orleans in order. Really nice work tracking it through the air from Theo Hardy. Gets a nod from Armbruster for that one.
Yeah, that looked like a single all day off the bat. It was heading towards bloop shot territory, and good on Theo Hardy to even go after that, but also to make that play.
He's on the right side for Brandon Stallman now. As strike 1, a fastball comes in at the bottom part of the zone. The 0-1. Pushed opposite way and out of play. And Stallman's down 0-2. Three to the right side of second. Jackson in the shallow outfield. Hines at the line, the 0-2. Just off the plate on the outside. Called ball 1, it was close. Stallman did not bite. He's 0 for 1, but has reached twice on a walk and a hit by pitch. The 1-2 golfed up short. Darby charges in. The shift works out perfectly as the third baseman was towards the center on that one, and it's 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 6th for Orleans heading to the home half. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 6th, bottom of the order for YD with Skylar King, who's 0 for 2. He shows bunt, pops it up sky high over the fence, and it's 0-1. Ryan Reeses is back out there. Corners pulled in, especially up that third baseline for King. Shows bunt again, puts it up the first baseline, has a chance at it, and goes underneath the tag. What a play! Skylar King, play of the day other than Austin's home run stealer. He saw that Halbach, didn't think he had the time to toss it to Reeses, went for the tag and dove head first underneath it. Leadoff runner aboard for the Red Sox. That was absolutely electric.
I love that. That's gritty baseball. Some people don't like small ball, but that's why I like small ball. See guys sliding into first base and jumping head first. That's a way to get your first hit on Cape for Skylar King, and maybe a rally starter here for the Red Sox in the 6th.
Theo Hardy up with 1 on. And a first pitch ball flies way over the head. Hardy now on the right side. He's another switch hitter against the lefty pitcher. Playing for the splits. King with the lead on first. Top of the order on deck. The 1-0 drops low. 2 balls, no strikes.
Go, YD. Let's go.
This is a 4-run game, but it absolutely feels close and feels winnable for either side at this point. Strike 1, a fastball burns the top of the zone. Reeses checks, deals, bounces, nicely chested down by Hunter, but it's 3 balls, 1 strike. As usual in the late afternoon, the clouds come in late and have changed the lighting up quite a bit. That maybe bounced off the knob of his bat. It did, and the count runs full. Unlucky call for Hardy. Full count. Runner on first, nobody gone. The payoff. Flared foul. We'll do it again. The two looked like they were mirroring each other there for a second as they both are facing King at first. The 3-2 on the ground up towards third. This could be 2. 1 at second. The turn is in time. Textbook from the Orleans defense. Stallman got that out of his glove immediately, and Oyama was all over it. Just like that, this YD rally that was starting to form has been stifled, and there are 2 gone with the top of the order coming up.
It's just everything feels so close right now. Hardy's 1 pitch away from walking, putting guys on first and second, and now there's nobody on base for RJ Austin.
Ball 1 misses just inside. And it's spiked in the dirt ball, too. We've talked about it all day, but finally there is something to play for here today. Orleans has chased down a 3.5 game lead from the Red Sox and are well positioned here to take that lead today. They'd be 1 point up heading into the final game of the regular season. The 2-0 hammered out foul, however, towards that left side, strike 1.
Good news is that regardless of what happens today, the Red Sox will own the tiebreak between these two teams as the season series, if this score holds, would be split 3-aside, but the Red Sox would have a better in-division record, which would give them the advantage.
Ball 3 drops low. That is, however, in the event of an Orleans win today, a Red Sox win tomorrow, and an Orleans tie tomorrow, which is specific. If Orleans takes the lead today and loses tomorrow with the Red Sox win, they could come back and take it. Ball 4 inside, and Austin will jog his way down to first base. Stafford 2 for 3 with a double and a bunt single.
The weirdest,
half.
I beg your pardon, the weirdest way for all this to happen would be if Orleans ended up winning today, Whitey tied tomorrow, and Orleans lost. The Red Sox would be division champions, which would probably feel really odd if that was all to happen. We're playing the hypothetical game, though, as we do late in the season.
Stafford checks at a first pitch curveball that perfectly drops in there from Rhesus. 0-1 to the righty catcher out of Cal Poly. Stafford took a quick hiatus from YD in the midst of the season to play for the Team USA Collegiate National Team and has returned on fire as the pickoff comes in towards first, and Austin is back there on his feet. The 0-1, Austin falls down on his face. He's lucky there that the pitch was already on the way from Rhesus. He's laughing a little, but got tripped up. He had some ankle injuries earlier in the season, walking it off here. He might need a minute. But he looks to be okay, making his way back to the bag as Stafford fouled that one away, and the count moves to 0-2. Austin now resets. Stafford in the box, 0-2 with 2 gone. Pickoff coming back towards first now with Austin shaky on his feet. I imagine he'll be targeted even more from Rhesus. The 0-2 on the ground, up the middle, beats the shift where a second baseman would normally be. Austin rounding third, the stop sign put up. And Ryan Stafford, 3 hits today. He's 3 for 4, and there are runners on the corners for Braden Montgomery. That should have been a routine 4-3 ground out, but the shift was all the way on to the other side, and there was nobody even close.
Yeah, great piece of hitting from Ryan Stafford to just wait back on that and just push it on the ground to the opposite field. Beat the shift, keep this inning alive.
Montgomery 2 for 3 with a single and a double. First pitch from Rhesus, check swing at a ball at the top of the zone. Small leads from Stafford and Austin. Rhesus fires, it's popped a mile high and foul to even up the count at 1. Montgomery from the right side. Underneath it on a big swing for strike 2. One and two outs, runners on the corners. Rhesus fires, runner goes outside, the throw is not in time. Austin thought about heading home. That ankle might have played a part in it, but Stafford is in there safely.
How about the speed he's shown over the last few days? He's been stealing a lot of bags lately.
Certainly running up the numbers in that category. Now runners on second and third. Montgomery calls time. The 2-2. Just got a piece of it at the top of the zone. Foul it away. Count stays the same, but that one looked like it might miss the bat. It flew really high up there and didn't drop at all. Montgomery waiting on the sixth pitch of the at-bat. Runner bluffs at third. Reeses kicks and fires. Ball 3. Reeses shakes, check the lead runner, and is now set. The kick, the payoff, strike 3. That pitch was perfect. The curve backdoors into the zone, vertical break, perfectly painted, and Ryan Reeses comes up huge to keep YD scoreless again in the bottom of the 6th. Heading to the top of the 7th, the rally was squashed, and Orleans will be back at the plate to go 8-9-1 when we come back on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Eight-4 ball game. We've been scoreless for the last 2 here from Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley with Perri Kitei back with you for the top of the 7th. Henry Hunter leads off out of the 8th spot. Will Armbruster back to it on the bump for YD. Deals a first pitch ball down low. Armbruster came in partway through the 5th inning. Recorded the final out. Disastrous inning it was as a swing and a miss there for strike 1. Beg your pardon, it was the 4th inning that he came in. It was a disastrous 4th inning for YD that saw 5 runs come across for Orleans. Those are the last that the Firebirds have scored, but haven't needed any since. They still hold on to a 4-run lead. Ball kicks away, and it's 2-1.
YD has had life in both the 5th and the 6th, but the Orleans defense and pitching staff have come up huge. Ryan Reeses has been clutch.
All 3 Delta up high. Reeses came in to shut the door in that 5th and then came in the 6th. Had a bit of a jam he found himself in and got out of it. Armbruster's 3-1 is ball 4 high. Hunter has now walked 4 times in 4 plate appearances. And that'll bring up the 9-hitter Jake Casey, who is the only man in the order that hasn't reached base. In fact, every single player in the Orleans batting order reached base in that 4th inning alone, with the exception of Casey. No love lost, though, between the Firebirds and Casey, as he was the one who got the clutch hit that gave him the walk-off yesterday over their victory from Eldridge Park. He swings and misses at the 0-1 offering. 0-2 to the Kent State Golden Flash, Jake Casey. Infield mostly in the shade. Armbruster throws over. That was a tester for Hunter Hines, as he had to field that one against the ground, but did so.
Hines has been DHing for a long time now. We haven't seen him in the field at first since early July, probably.
0-2 cracked on the ground towards second. Fielded by Jackson, whipped on to second for one to first, not in time. Casey beats it out by a hair. Nearly a 4-6-3, but instead the Red Sox just get the lead runner, and there's one away for the top of the order. Joe Oyama is 1 for 4. Runner on first. If we could see another double play ball, that could potentially end the inning. Landon Beidel-Shees has gotten up and warming in the YD bullpen. He's been a late reliever / closer type of guy for the Red Sox this season.
We'll see both Ohio State guys today.
First pitch is looped foul, 0-1. They've pitched in the same game before. Those two tracking right now. Gavin Bruni was a starter this past year for Ohio State. Landon Beidel-Shees was a bullpen guy, but it's looking as if those may be 2 of the 3 you see in the weekend rotation for the Buckeyes next spring. Oyama fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Joe, full name Joichiro Oyama, out of UC Irvine. He's got a couple teammates on this YD roster, Doug Gleed and Finnegan Wall, both anteaters. Played his JUCO ball in the U.S. after making his way over from Okinawa, Japan. He takes a fastball away, 1-2. Casey's lead on first is small. Orleans has scored in 2 out of 6 innings so far, but they have put up big numbers in both. Oyama gets his hands to that one and stays alive. Oyama was a third baseman during school ball, but has been the everyday second baseman for Kelly Nicholson and these Orleans Firebirds this season.
Batting .364, he is in 3rd place in the league overall.
That ball just missed on the outer half. It's 2-2.
Brutal break for Armbruster. That one looked pretty good from up here.
Two misses outside again, and it's a full count to Oyama.
Two in a row now, just on that same spot on the outside half. That second one I was almost sure would be the strike 3 call. Instead, the count is full.
Payoff hit on the ground over towards second. Another chance for the Red Sox on to second for 1, and no chance to beat the speedy Oyama. A second straight fielder's choice, as Jackson had a longer throw from second to short that time. 2 away now for Fenwick Trimble, who is 1 for 3. Trimble scored a run in the first. He's popped out and struck out in addition to his hit and hit by pitch. He's also thrown out trying to score in that 5-run 4th inning. It was an ill-advised attempt to score. He was thrown out by about 30 feet. Trimble takes a painted strike on the outer half. Utility guy, he can play infield and outfield. He's playing in right today. Reaches for that one, grounds it over to short. Hardy will make the soft toss over to second, and Jackson fields. Side retired. Will Armbruster faces 4. He's been strong out of the pen for YD through these middle innings. It's stretch time from Red Wilson Field, and it's rally time for the Sox. They trail 8-4 on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Hunter Hines leads off for YD in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Red Sox need some runs. They are down by 4 in a game that may very well decide the champion of the East Division, which will be set in stone at tomorrow's end. Ryan Reese is back on the mound. The lefty deals a first pitch ball outside that Hines started to go after but held up on. 1-0 to Hunter. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles and a strikeout coming most recently. Red Sox have had plenty of threats in this game to score as that pitch nearly hits him. They have left 8 on base, all coming in sets of 2s in 4 of their first 6 innings at the plate. Two-0 is down low for ball 3. Reese is now up to 43 pitches out of the bullpen and at risk of walking Hunter Hines, although we do know the green light is on for YD's biggest power hitter. He takes a strike on the outer part of the zone. 3-1 the score. Three-1 is roped foul on the ground. 2 pitches later, it's a full count to Hunter.
Would have gone right into the shift. Half of this infield is on the right side. Penny is all the way on the right side of second, and Stallman is over in the gap where a shortstop would normally be.
Orleans has not shifted a ton against YD this season, but they've done it a lot today specifically. The payoff to Hines is not close. He takes ball 4.
With the tomahawk toss to go along with it.
Little axe throw back to his dugout. Runner on first for Xander Darby. He is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Number 12, Xander Darby.
Darby trying to deliver and get a rally going for the Red Sox. Each of the last, or I should say 2 of the last 3 innings for the Red Sox have looked solid, but have failed to score in the last 2 and only got 1 run in the 4th.
Darby's been in somewhat of a slump recently. He was a base hit machine for a long time and does not have a hit today. He's reached on a walk. And in the last few games has not made as much contact as we've come to expect from him.
Average sits at 287. He had it over 300 for a brief time. Pops this one up, sky high, shallow left center. Backtracking Penny from short, called off by King, who makes the catch on the run from center, 1 away.
Next up, out of
Long run for King, but it was very, very high, and he had time to get underneath it. Just missed contact from Darby for out number 1.
So now it is an 0 for 3 Enzo Apodaca. He'll be followed by an 0 for 3 Ryan Jackson if YD can get there. The time is now to get some hits for the Red Sox. Apodaca's put 3 balls in play. That pitch doesn't quite fall enough to get the strike 1 call. It's 1-0 to Enzo. Lined out to first base his last time up, what probably would have been extra bases, but Matt Hallback flashed the leather to rob him. Takes in on the elbow, 2-0. Two-0 pitch is on the outer corner for strike 1. At the letters, Ryan Rhesus, above 50 pitches now out of the bullpen. And finds strike 2 to even the count against Apodaca. He's got a 1.29 ERA this season. He's been good through limited innings as he was a late addition. Trying to keep Apodaca at bay here. 2-2 is popped up, shallow left. Casey racing in, called off, and now calling back off Jack Penny. He makes the catch. 2 gone for YD on a pair of soft flyouts. Ryan Jackson is 0 for 3. Runner on first, and YD needing some runs. The outs now numbered in the single digits as the Red Sox only have 7 of them left to work with. A sword swing for strike 1 from Jackson.
Rhesus choked him up there. It came in on him, and he got jammed swinging around on it. The Red Sox have more hits today than Orleans, but lacking in the runs department.
One ball and 1 strike. Orleans has led the whole way, with the exception of a brief stint in the third when this game was tied. At 3-3, the Red Sox scored 2 runs in the bottom of that inning to tie it up before the 5 spot by the Firebirds. Jackson takes upstairs. It's 2-1. Hines taking his lead on first. Reese is looking right at him. Broken bat, lifted shot into foul ground on the left side. That's a foul ball. So Jackson will need some new lumber. He'll head over to the dugout to go grab it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count in the bottom of the 7th inning. Final home game of the regular season for YD as they will hit the road tomorrow for a matchup at Spillane Field against the Wareham Gatemen. That is the final time they will see Wareham, who is not going to be playing in the postseason. And once again, as we've mentioned a couple times throughout the broadcast, even if this scoreline holds, the Red Sox still have a shot at winning the division tomorrow. They would just need a win and some help. Jackson takes down low, and it's ball 3. Could also do it with a tie, as we went over earlier on, but if YD fails to come back in this one, they will be doing a lot of scoreboard watching tomorrow. Hines will take off with the pitch. 3-2 is spoiled foul. So it'll stay 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jackson. He'll be followed up by Skylar King.
All the spots have been clinched in the playoffs for a couple of games now. Chatham and Wareham will not be participating. The 2 teams on opposite ends of the Cape.
That's ball 4 to Jackson. And the inning continues.
Skylar King laid down a bunt single up the first base line and dove in safely underneath the tag of Halbach.
So he's 1 for 3 in his Cape League debut. First and second, 2 gone. Hardy waiting in the on-deck circle. He serves as the tying run in this game. Strike 1 from Rhesus, who sets and throws kind of a quick pitch at times. Take his time a little more, hunched over on the mound. The bunt is put up the third base line again. This one is rolling, and there will be no play. That's a second bunt single in a row by Skylar King, and it loads the bases for Theo Hardy.
A bunt single machine has been added to the lineup. Up the first base line, up the third base line, both of them perfect. Theo Hardy coming to the plate with a big smile on his face after that one. Small ball, electrifying once again.
So the batting average mark will say that Skylar King is hitting .500 this season, even though he has not had a ball leave the infield yet. Theo Hardy at the plate, and the Red Sox could really use a base hit here. They're loaded with 2 down. Hardy goes first pitch swinging and fouls it off. Second at bat that we have seen from Hardy, where he is batting from the righty box, the switch hitter, against the southpaw Ryan Rhesus. The first time he got ahead in the count before grounding into a double play. He rolls over the 0-1 foul. This time he's down, and it's 0-2.
Dub Gleed is on deck as a pinch hitter for R.J. Austin. We've only really seen Gleed at first base. I'm interested to see what the defense might look like in the 8th.
Certainly hope that has nothing to do with Austin's ankle that he got shook up on a little bit his last time on base. Good fight from Theo Hardy. He stays alive, 0-2.
3 foul balls in a row now from the shortstop out of San Jose State.
Hardy had 3 hits yesterday, looking for his first today. Couldn't come at a bigger time. Struck him out. Swing and a miss from Hardy. Rhesus fired up as he strands him loaded in the bottom of the 7th. The Red Sox cannot buy a run. They have had plenty of hits in this game, but have failed to rally through the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Still 8-4 our score, with the middle of the order coming up for Orleans when we return. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Now batting out of Notre Dame, number 11, Jack Penny.
Jack Penny leads off in the top of the 8th inning, with Orleans leading by 4, and Landon Beidelshees, another Ohio State lefty, the second Buckeye southpaw, on the bump for YD in relief. First pitch is down low to Penny for ball 1. Penny is 1 for 3 with a run scored after he singled. He also has a walk coming in his most recent plate appearance. Something that may go overlooked in this game was how good Will Armbruster was in relief today, as a strike is taken by Penny. Armbruster went 3 1/3, no hits, no runs, 3 walks and a strikeout for the ASU Sun Devil. 1-1 nearly clips the elbow of Penny, but instead it's 2 balls and a strike. The reason why he may not really get as much credit as he should for that outing, as this one is lined into right center field, and that's going to be a base hit and carry to the wall. It is picked up and thrown back in quickly by Theo Hardy, who's out there in center field in a new spot after R.J. Austin was subbed out. He did well to prevent that from being a single, or prevent it from being a double, I should say, and keeping it as a single for Penny, the leadoff man aboard for Orleans in the 8th for Matt Hallback. But the Red Sox have stranded 11 guys on base in this game, including leaving the bases loaded in the last inning. Matt Hallback is 3 for 4. Shows bunt and takes a strike instead, 0-1. Beidelshees pumps that one down low. It's 1-1.
Beidelshees had a really good start to the season, and in his last outing, gave up the long ball for the very first time, not once but twice. That was in the Harwich comeback.
Jammed out towards left center. That's another base hit. Runner will put on the brakes at second, as Penny can only move up 90 feet, but station to station, Matt Hallback is 4 for 5.
Next up, out of Bridge, Washington.
First and second for Eddie Micheletti. Beidelshees has had a good season. He was an all-star. He struck out 31 batters in 21, I beg your pardon, in 2/3. And, yeah, like you said, it was just a tough one for him his last time up. He's normally very strikeout heavy, but got hit around his last time out. Looking to return to form here, give his team a shot. And what is the biggest game of the season to this point for YD, but the Red Sox have really not been able to keep in this one since the 4th inning.
They have left 11 runners on base.
Micheletti hits this one well out towards right center. Going back on it at the wall. Hardy leaps and it's off the wall. He loses his glove. It'll be recovered in center. Penny's going to try to score as Micheletti pulls into second. Penny comes across, and it's an RBI double for Micheletti, his second double of the day. Runners were not going on contact, thinking that Theo Hardy might have a chance at that one.
It was a dramatic effort. The ball was still in the ballpark. Glove flew off the hand of Hardy, but Beidelshees now has faced 3 batters and allowed 3 deep hits.
Second and third for Eddie King. 9-4 the Orleans lead as YD brings the right side of the infield in, the left side about halfway in, level with the bags. Beidelshees stepped off and now gets ready. A strike for Eddie King, who is 1 for 3. He has walked and singled, struck out and flied out.
In just the last 2 innings, YD left 5 runners combined on base. All of those runners reached while 2 outs were on.
0-1, hit on the ground over towards short. Jackson spinning around, able to hold the runner on third and get the out. Jackson's had a really good day in the field. And so runners stay on second and third with 1 away. It felt like Skylar King's single in the 6th inning was going to start something after he bunted for YD, and then there was a double play following that. The Red Sox Got a couple more guys on with 2 outs and failed to score. And then in the 7th, was another bunt single by Skylar King that felt like maybe it could get them going. Loaded the bases with 2 outs, but weren't able to score. Strike 1 falls in on Brandon Stallman. He is hitless today, but has been hit by a pitch and walked. 2 free passes in an 0-for-2 day. Infield now in a similar position. Left side stays halfway in. Now the right side backs up, and they're halfway in instead of all the way on the grass as they were during the last at-bat. It's now 0-2 to Stallman. (0-2) lined out towards left field, coming on. The catch is made by King. He fires it back in as the runners will have to hold. And so Beidelschies has done a good job after that run to get 2 outs and keep the runners on second and third. 9-4 our score for the catcher Henry Hunter, who has 4 plate appearances and 4 walks.
0 for 0 at the plate today. That is wildly impressive. Takes a lot of discipline and also just luck.
First pitch is outside. Back pick to third is not in time.
It's a bullet from Stafford. A dangerous play.
Saw him almost get one earlier on in this game. Back picks to third, though, have not proved kind to the Red Sox this season. Whitey's got Connor O'Hara warming up in the bullpen as the 1-0 comes in. And it's lifted up. Foul ground. Stafford tosses the helmet aside, coming over towards the fence, and it's off his glove. Right next to the backstop. It's 1-1 now the count.
It's tough to gauge it over there with the overhang. That one was right up against the fence. Stafford just couldn't get a glove on it. Feels like forever ago when Johnny Pappas, one of the first catchers for YD in maybe the 3rd game of the season, had a disastrous back pick to third that snuck away and scored what would eventually be the game-winning run.
Yeah, that was on opening day against Harwich. And then Pappas was promptly pinch hit for by Will King, who turned out to be a revelation for this team. 1-2 is high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Reminiscing already, the season has gone by just so fast. It felt slow in the middle, but since the All-Stars were announced, it feels like it's just flown by. Only one more regular season game, and that's tomorrow.
44-game regular season here in the Cape Cod League, and we are just 1 game away from its conclusion. Beidelschies 2-2 was fouled off. Then the playoff push begins. It's been tough going for YD really over this ending stretch of the season, stretch in which YD had a brutal time last year. They went 2-7 in their final 9. This one is fouled off again. And we hope that it's not deja vu because YD lost a top seed last year because of that performance down the stretch before they ended up winning in the first round of the playoffs against these Orleans Firebirds and then were beaten by Brewster in the East Division final. 2-2 from Beidelschies, broken bat pop-up. It's over Hines' head. That's a base hit. It's fired in quickly, and now it gets away. Runner coming to the plate. Beidelschies throws home, and it is not in time. Runner moves to second. That was an absolute mess in the field. And 2 more runs are going to score for the Firebirds. It's now 11-4.
That's just the nail in the coffin for YD, and it's tough to watch. That last play, it looked like Beidelschies was just jogging over to get the ball and then realized that the Orleans runner was breaking for home and tried to get there at the last second, but brutal ending.
And that's it for Landon Beidelschies' day. 3 runs in the top of the 8th inning. for Orleans, and we will see Connor O'Hara take over when we return to Red Wilson Field. We step aside as the Red Sox are trailing in this one 11-4. New arm on the mound on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Connor O'Hara taking over on the mound for YD in the top of the 8th. 11-4. Orleans has opened up this lead further with 3 runs in this inning. Jake Casey swings and misses for strike 1. He is 0 for 4 today. Reached on a fielder's choice his last time up, so now every man in the Orleans order has been on base. Tough day for Landon Beidelshees, who went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 4 runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. And it's been something of an uncharacteristically bad day defensively for the Red Sox, given that they've had no errors, or just one, I should say, is now that overthrow is their first of the game. There have been a lot that aren't going to maybe go down in the book, but have been plays that the Red Sox have not had go their way. Ball and 2 strikes, the count to Jake Casey. He takes down low, and it's 2-2. Connor O'Hara, the pitcher out of Florida Gulf Coast. He's a 2-way at school, but he has only pitched for YD. He also catches, which is rare. 8th appearance out of the pen, 4.95 ERA this season for the righty. 2-2 dives low, 3-2. 16 hits and 13 walks to go with his 15 strikeouts, 16 1/3 innings pitched. He has received no decisions, but interestingly enough, by coincidence, 6 of the 7 games he's appeared in have been YD losses. Ball 4 to Casey. Back to the top of the order we go. Joe Oyama stepping up. He is 1 for 5. First and second with 2 away in the top of the 8th inning, as the Red Sox have not had their day in the season's most important game to date.
It's been a brutal one here. 3 hours already, halfway through the 8th.
Swing and a miss from Oyama, 0-1. (7:24 p.m. local time here in the 8th inning). A check swing, appeal out to the base umpire, says he held. Whitey dugout has a lot to say about it. 1-1 the count to Oyama now. 12 hits for Orleans to Whitey's 10, but free passes and mistakes have been an issue as Max Banks is now up in the Whitey bullpen. 1-1 kicks away, and the runners will jog up second and third now for Oyama in a favorable count at 2-1. Oyama steps back in. MVP candidate for Orleans. Has a hit today, but in large part it's been the middle of the order that has produced for the Firebirds. 2-1 is pushed foul, 2-2.
We've talked about it all day for Orleans. They have scored in bunches, 3 in the first, 5 in the fourth, 3 now in counting in the 8th with 2 runners in scoring position. And scoreless in the other frames. It's been kind of unbelievable.
2-2 is low, ball 3. A full count to Oyama. First base open for O'Hara after the wild pitch. Payoff, swung on and missed, strike 3. And that retires the top of the 8th. Orleans, 3 more runs have put this game in tough territory for the Red Sox. They'll need at least 7. They've got less outs to work with at 6. Back for the bottom of the 8th when we come back on the Cape League Broadcast Network. (11-4) ball game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dub Gleed is in to hit for R.J. Austin. Umpires met with each respective head coach in the inning break, perceivably to talk about the looming darkness as the first pitch comes into Gleed, and it's high and tight for ball 1. Still pretty light out right now. It can get dark rather quickly, but probably we'll play this game all the way through. Strike in on Gleed from our new pitcher who's into the game in relief of Ryan Reeses. It's Nate Scott, the senior righty from New Providence, New Jersey, and Fordham. Gleed rolls over towards third, picked up by Stallman. High throw to first, but Hallback handles it, and there's one away. That will bring up Ryan Stafford, who's had a great day today. He's 3 for 4 with a double and 2 singles.
Ryan Stafford.
Stafford coming in with the bases clear. He's scored one of YD's 2 runs that came in the third. And hits this one up the third, or first base line rather. That's a fair ball. He is going to hustle around first. Throw coming into second, rolls in late. And it's a 1-out double for Ryan Stafford, who is 4 for 5 with 2 extra base hits.
He's been the star of the day for YD, but looking at the scoreboard, it is so rare to see 11 hits and just 4 runs come out of that. That's what happens when you leave 11 runners on board. Orleans has also left 11 runners on board, but they've come across with 11 runs to show for it. It just has seemed like since that third inning, every time YD puts together something of a rally, it's crushed immediately.
Braden Montgomery is the batter for the Red Sox. 3 for 4 with a sac fly, a single, and a double. Check swing, foul ball on the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike to Montgomery, who will have his average stay above 300 after today. Cracked over towards first, and it's a foul ball. Montgomery, a switch-hitting utility two-way who pitched the first inning of this game. Gave up 3 runs, walked 4, struck out 3. YD rallied, though, so he will not be the losing pitcher in this game. They tied the game up before 5 runs came in the 4th. 1-2, sent sky high out towards center. King drifting back towards it, makes the catch. Stafford will fake towards third, but return to the second base bag, and there are 2 away following the fly out to Braden Montgomery.
Next up, out of Mississippi
Looked
State,
like it might have a chance off the bat, but
Hunter
just
Hunt.
gauging based on King in center field, he did not look concerned at all one bit out there. So a long fly for Montgomery, but 2 gone with Stafford in scoring position.
Hunter Hines is 2 for 3. He's also walked. He takes the ball low. One ball and no strikes. Final game of the regular season is tomorrow for YD. Looking ahead, it will be Gage Williams who gets his first start. So that's strike 1 on Hines, 1-1. You will face Bryson Schaffer, who will start for Wareham. Schaffer, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleer out of Cape Coral, Florida. Hines foul tips the 1-1. It's a ball and 2 strikes. We will be on the air for that one. It's a 6 o'clock start for the Red Sox at Spillane Field. We'll have our radio broadcast on the road as always. Our final tune-up in the booth and the final tune-up in the field for the postseason baseball that will start off. There will be an off day. It's a required off day the day after tomorrow on Thursday, a league-wide off day. First time we've had one of those in a while. As Hines scorches one foul up the right field line, and it stays 1-2. I'd actually be curious. I don't have the information on me, but I don't know if we've had a scheduled off day where every single team has been off in the Cape League since early June. Certainly hasn't felt like it, but everyone will get a rest before the first round starts off on Friday. Hines chops this one up the middle. It's past Scott's glove over to second base, though. It's fielded by Penny, into the shift. He throws out Hines for the third out of the inning. Red Sox go pretty quietly outside of the one-out double by Ryan Stafford, but it's a 7-run game, and Max Banks will come in and try to collect the final 3 outs for YD and eat up the last inning when we come back. You're watching Red Sox baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
James Madison, number 37.
Fenway Trimble leads off in the top of the 9th inning for Orleans. 11-4 the score, with the Firebirds leading the Red Sox, and Max Banks had a Chapman on the mound for YD, a first pitch ball high.
Trimble 1 for 4 today, reached on a hit by pitch, a fly out, and a single strikeout swinging fielder's choice. It's been a long day for the Orleans batting order.
6th time through for the Firebirds. For Max Banks, this is his 7th appearance. Gets a foul tip to make it 1-2. 14.21 ERA this season for the San Francisco native. 8 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings, 7 walks and 13 hits. His most recent appearance was his 2nd best of the year, a scoreless inning of relief against Bourne as Trimble hammers this one to left, but it should be playable. The catch is made for out number 1. That looks like it's Ryan Stafford and is out there. Stafford taking over for Skylar King.
Next up, out of Notre Dame, number 11, Jack Penny.
Jack Penny coming up with one away, as I believe.
Behind the plate, we
Yeah,
have
it's
a Red
Bozzo.
Sox debut. Yep.
Greg Bozzo catches a first pitch strike from Max Banks. Bozzo is a rising senior who plays his college ball in Boston for the Northwestern Huskies. Swing and a miss, 0-2. So he comes in. He will likely bat for Skylar King. There's a chance maybe that Bozzo will get a chance in the bottom of the 9th. 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. 3-pitch strikeout for Max Banks. And there's 2 gone in the top of the 9th. That's as well as I think we've seen Max Banks command in at bat. He was really strong in that one and made the hitter look a little silly there to end it. 2 away for Matt Hallback. He has been on today. So he is 4 for 5. A whole bunch of singles for the Orleans first baseman. Ahead 1-0.
Max Banks had a brutal start to the season, but in his last 3 appearances, he's let up no runs, 1 run, and no runs, each in 1 inning of work. 2 walks across that. 13 batters faced. He's really settled into the competition here.
Painted a strike there on Hallback. Can't get the chase there. That'll make it 2-2. Played for a Chapman baseball team that this past year went 28-16. That ball bounces in, and it's 3-2. Lost in their conference championship game to Cal Lutheran. Full count to Matt Hallback. Payoff pitch coming in. Grounded up towards third. A nice catch by the Orleans third base coach. We'll see another 3-2. Beautiful night here on Cape Cod. Cloudless sky, which sometimes feels rare out here. Three-two lifted out towards right, and the catch is made by Apodaca to end the inning. Max Banks goes 1-2. And the Red Sox head to the bottom of the 9th inning, down by 7. 11-4 our score. Darby, Apodaca, and Jackson due up when we come back on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Stay tuned. Xander Darby leads off in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here from Red Wilson Field, Luke West Poley and Perri Kitei with you in our final television broadcast of the home regular season. Xander Darby leading off for YD is 0 for 3. And he takes a strike from Nate Scott, who's back onto the mound for his 2nd inning of work. Ball misses down low. It's 1-1.
It's really cleared out here at Red Wilson. Very few spectators have stayed to stick this one out.
Darby sends this one over towards first, and it's off the glove of Hallback and into right field. Here we go.
It
Bottom
starts
9.
now.
Here comes the rally. Enzo Apodaca, runner on first and nobody out.
That was ruled a hit, so Darby gets his first of the day.
Hits are now even at 12 aside. Apodaca takes high. YD dugouts having plenty of fun despite the scoreline.
At this point, there's nothing else you can do.
Apodaca punches that one foul. It stays 1-1. Superfan and Bat Boy Brady was trying to hype up the boys during that inning break. We'll see if that works, as it's now 2-1 to Apodaca. We will see Garrett Ostrander bat for Ryan Jackson, as he's waiting in the on-deck circle. Apodaca hits this one into right field, base hit. Enzo's got his first hit of the day. And the guys won't go quietly, I guess. It's first and second, nobody out for Garrett Ostrander.
The fun begins right now. Ostrander stepping up.
Cal Baptist Lancer, Garrett Ostrander. Takes a first pitch down for ball one. Ostrander with 1 hit through 6 at-bats on Cape Cod has been entirely a pinch hitter. Sends this one out towards center. King on the run, makes the catch in the gap. Xander Darby fakes towards third. But that's the all-important first out of the inning.
Next up, out of West Virginia, number 22.
Speculated that Greg Bozzo might hit for Skylar King, but he will not, as King must have stayed out in the field in the last inning. And so he will bat for himself here in the bottom of the ninth. 1 away with runners on first and second. King is 2 for 4 with 2 bunt singles.
He's on deck, actually, so he must have come in for Hardy.
Grounder to first, play made over at first, and that's it, as Hallback will just take that one and gobble it up. Runners move to second and third.
And here we go on 2 outs.
Pinch hitting the Red Sox.
Greg
Out of
Bozzo
Northeastern, number
gets his
14,
first shot at it.
Greg Bozzo.
Bozzo was added to the roster yesterday. Comes in second and third, 2 outs in a 7-run game. And hits this one up in the air towards shallow right. 3 players converging. Oyama the one to make the catch, and the ball game is over. Orleans comes in and makes a statement victory, and for the first time since mid-June, the Red Sox relinquish their lead atop the East Division. Orleans moves into first place. Things are not locked up just yet. The Red Sox will still have a chance to pick up a division championship if they can get some help tomorrow, as YD will take on the Wareham Gatemen on the road. And that will be a 6 o'clock start from Spillane Field as the Red Sox and the Gatemen meet for the final time this season. Perri, this did not look promising right off the rip for YD, but maybe they proved us wrong a little bit, tying that game up in the 3rd inning. It really felt like a game at times throughout. After that 5-run inning, it still didn't quite feel over. The Red Sox had plenty of chances in this one, but an issue over this time in which they've lost their lead over the division has been not taking advantage of chances. They did that again today as they stranded 13 guys on base.
I actually have it as 14 guys on base here. It rains, it pours for Orleans. The hits came in bunches. They only scored in 3 frames, but putting up 3 runs twice and 5 runs once. It's going to do it. 13 hits, 4 runs for the Red Sox. Kind of an unbelievable ratio there, but the difference has been the lack of starting pitching, and the Red Sox have really felt the loss of Cal Steven, who maxed out, and Micah Bucknam, who was pulled back to LSU. Those were 2 of the Red Sox best starters, so they have some reevaluating to do in the bullpen and figuring out this rotation. Maybe we'll see Armbruster move into a starting spot. He had a nice day in middle relief today that will likely go overlooked, but YD has lost a lead they've had for most of the season and now are reliant on Orleans losing tomorrow and them picking up a win at Wareham in a game that never should have even needed to be competitive.
So for Orleans tomorrow, on the final game of the regular season, the Firebirds will be at home against Chatham in a 6:30 start, and we will be doing some scoreboard watching as the Red Sox will take on the Wareham Gatemen. 6 o'clock, the first pitch. Gage Williams, the projected starter for the Red Sox in that one, as they look to get some help and potentially win the East Division. A win and an Orleans loss or tie, or a tie and an Orleans loss would win the Red Sox the top spot in the East Division playoffs. But we will have to see how things unfold headed into tomorrow. That'll wrap things up here from Red Wilson Field for the final time this regular season. We'll be on the air tomorrow on the road. Make sure to tune in then. For Anna Tedeschi, my partner Perri, Kitei, our entire great crew, Luke West, Poley saying so long from Red Wilson. Final score, Orleans 11 and YD 4. Good night, everyone.